Oh, wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest, in all things PlayStation. Of course, you can listen to the show wherever you find your podcasts and on the video version on YouTube at The Trophy Room Show. If you like what you hear, please consider dropping us a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts, or you can throw us a buck our way over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. So with all that said, and with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host, whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson, how are you, sir?
So tired, Joe.
Yeah.
Same. I'm so tired. The heat is oppressive.
Yep.
Today it's more of like the humidity, because we were here on the east end of Long Island today. We were at like a 93% humidity. It was only like 75 degrees.
Yeah.
But it was 93% humidity. So it felt like we were walking through a swamp and I was just dripping. It was not fun. And camp is just destroying me, Joe.
How is camp for you? Because it's been a year plus since you've been out in the world working.
Man. Yeah, it's been a year and a half that I've sat on this couch behind me and just played video games pretty much all day.
Beautiful.
So it's kicking my butt because I'm not used to it. Yeah. I haven't been this active in a year and a half, pretty much. Yeah. But the kids are fine. Mm-hmm. It's good to see other people, other staff members, even though we are confined in our own little spot. But it is, I kid you not, Joe, hot take or triggering for some, I don't know. It's effing prison.
Yeah, okay? How so, Kyle?
It feels like prison. I have to stay in this room with 10 kids all day. Okay. We have outside time and we have TV time. Okay. I've watched Orange is the New Black. I know what those two things mean. And Joe, here's the kicker.
What's that?
Today we got word that we are now finally allowed to play card games with each other.
Whoa.
I know. I'm so excited. Something to do. And it would be a little bit different if like my group of campers are a little bit more outgoing. Cool. Oh. They're great kids. It's just I try to talk to them and have conversations. They're like, I don't know, or they just shrug their shoulders. So it's like silent most of the day.
Really?
And I'm like, oh, you're driving. Somebody do something bad, please. I need something to liven up my day. But it's good to be out and about. But no, they're not though. They're cool kids. They're fantastic artists. There's some really cool artwork on the walls. They can be really funny. It's just they don't want to talk to each other or me. So I don't know what to do.
Oh man, that sounds
hopefully playing some Uno or something. Like I'll be able to get a little bit more out of them.
Yeah. Sounds like a bunch of dorks. That's me. Listen, Kyle, I don't want to talk about these dumb kids that won't talk to you. You can't relate to the youth anymore. I want to talk about some good old-fashioned PlayStation. You down with that, sir?
I'm always down.
All right, because this week, listen, it's a week for sure. Like, we're going to be talking about how Atlus is teasing Persona 6. We're going to be talking about how Battlefield's bringing crossplay to PlayStation. We're going to talk about our game of the year so far, and Kyle, more rumored PlayStation director's cuts and how Kojima doesn't like the phrase director's cut. We're going to talk all about that. But before we do, I do want to say this. Twitter's been Twitter. It's an awful place.
Yeah.
It seems like every quarter we have to have an outrage about something. Mm-hmm. So I want to know what your take is on easy modes. Apparently these fake journos out here, they can't deal with a good old fashioned medium or hard mode. They want the easiest mode. They just want to hand it to them, Kyle. How dare they? What's your take on an easy mode?
I love easy mode.
Yeah.
I don't care what difficulty you play a game on. You're playing a game. That's cool with me.
Sure.
Gaming's for everybody. I know if you've been on Twitter, you've seen that phrase a lot, or you should see that a lot. If you don't, there might be some pruning, taking that from Loki, of your timeline. Make sure it's like you're in the right circles there. It's just like I just don't understand why it's so bad for a gamer to play on easy mode or journalists to play on easy mode. Journalists have to play so many games for review.
Yeah.
Like, I would do that. Are you kidding me? I'd play it on easy mode so I can review the story and then maybe hop in and play a little bit more like on a harder difficulty if it's that kind of game.
Right.
Difficulty does not matter to me. You play whatever you want to play on. I don't care.
I was talking to a couple of my friends. They just play on easy. They're like, dude, I got a wife, kids. I don't have.
Absolutely.
I got 40 minutes to pop in a game. I want to enjoy it. Some people want to feel like that just like, it's like the power fantasy almost. It's like, I'm just an unstoppable force. So like, to me, I feel like easy modes in games, it's like a branching path almost. Cause like on one path, gamers, if you want to play on, if the game is offering you difficulty settings, you could go as low or as high as you want. If you want to play hell on earth mode, go for it. Enjoy your life. Enjoy that frustration. If you want to just literally watch cutscenes and that's what your enjoyment is, go for it. Do it. At the same exact time, if you're a dev, Kyle, it's whatever you feel like. Like if, a lot of people don't think about this, but like putting modes in games, that's extra time. That's extra development. That's extra balancing. Like how many times when you look at a game on the lower right-hand side, they're like default. This is how the game has been balanced by the devs. Like this is the preferred way of play. And when you get to like a hard mode, sometimes it's not balanced correctly. And sometimes like enemies just feel like bullet sponges or they just hit way too hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or like sometimes they're just way too easy. And it's just like, I'm using a lightsaber against a couple of piñatas.
Or on the other side of thing, like you unlock a power that is way too powerful and it becomes OP, and that's the only thing you use.
Yeah. So I understand that. And to me, like a lot of people bring up From Software, as you know, I'm a huge From stan. And it's just like, don't bring them into this because they literally said, no, that's not what our game is. And they don't have it there. And respect to that. Like, I respect it. If the developer says, no, I have a strict vision, this is what it's going to be, and we're not teetering from that path, go for it. But if you're a dev and you're like, I'm going to put some sliders here or there to make sure people have an easier time because that's how I'm envisioning my vision, go for it. Do it. And at the same exact time, Kyle, there's a third branching path. And here's where I'm going to get the sauciest of hot takes.
Uh-oh.
If you're a game reviewer, a lot of people think like we get these games a week in advance. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you get these games like 2 days in advance. Like sometimes like we've gotten codes on the day of a release of thing. There's no way we could review it. And a lot of people don't realize how reviews work. It's like you have literally the day of release and 48 hours after that people will come to your site, that traffic will come to that review. After the 2 days, that traffic drops. So if you are a site like an IGN or just any small site that relies on clicks to get that income, because this is a job and a business, like it is pedal to the metal sometimes. You don't have a lot of guides that show you how to solve, puzzle A or puzzle B or puzzle C. Sometimes you get lucky, but sometimes you don't. So to me, I feel like if a reviewer is coming in at it, they should be playing on medium or the default setting if they have the time. If they don't and they have to crunch on it, then bring it down to easy. Go ahead, play that game. But at least also let people know that, hey, I played this on the easiest setting, so here you go. Because if you play it on a step too high or step too low, again, you're not getting the default setting, the vision that was spent the most time on. So you might not be engaging in a mechanic the fullest if you do it that way. So to me, I feel like it's a multifaceted thing, and I'm sorry for the TED Talk, but I like at the end of the day,
I think that's a good compromise, though. Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy the games. Yeah. Everyone should be able to play a game, no matter how hard or difficult it is, at their own pace and at their own skill level. They deserve to be played. But I think that's a good compromise. Just as a reviewer, if you are writing a review, mention what you played on. And I feel like the few times the couple of times, oh my God, the couple of last times, I can't speak right now. The last couple of reviews I read, that has been in there somewhere. Like, I played on this and, like,
Yeah, it's a lot harder to make content than some people make it out to seem. And we need to give people, devs, everybody, benefit of the doubt sometimes. And if you come in with an accessibility point of view in terms of your review or focus, that's a totally different review as well. So again, I feel like people, man, they like to jump down other people's throats. I think we all need to just settle down and, dare I say, play a video game.
Yeah.
With that said, I want to talk about our patrons. I want to talk about our producers, the people that fund this show, that keep this show running each and every week. I want to thank our platinum producers, Todd Burowitz and Too Soon. I want to thank our gold producers, Chaotic Monkey, Gavin Goffrey, Griffin West, Jose Jimenez, Jedi Master Ren, Metal Kirby, and Robbie Bobby Miller himself. I want to thank our Silver Plus members, Hide Indoors, Nakachaka, Marcus O'Neill. Oh, it's just Ray. JB, the Purple Monkey, Jada Swan Metal, Tim Ulf, Justin Rodriguez, Awesome Dave, Mr. and Mrs. Nasty Boots, Cypher Primus, and Captain Logan. Thank you all for keeping the lights on each and every week. We do these amazing things. We're able to do this show all because of your support over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. That's why we look so good, sound so great. So if we got you through the global panorama, got you through a long car ride, tough day at work, really does help us out. Toss us a buck our way over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. But enough easy mode talk, Kyle. Let's set this to the God-given medium mode. I don't know.
I was going to say the new hard mode that is unlocked in Director's Cuts.
Yes. It's time to square up the news.
Ari Notice over at Kotaku writes, Kojima Death Stranding Director's Cut isn't a Director's Cut. Cross-genre game Death Stranding will receive an enhanced and expanded version on PlayStation 5 this fall with Death Stranding Director's Cut. But Hideo Kojima, the game's famously enigmatic director, doesn't think it qualifies as a bona fide Director's Cut. Quote, a Director's Cut in a movie is an additional edit to a shortened version that was either released reluctantly because the director did not have the right to edit it, or because the running time had to be shortened, Kojima wrote in a series of tweets today, noting that Death Stranding Director's Cut features content that's additionally produced rather than cut.
I'm sorry, I messed you up there. I messed with
the little thing that popped up. I was like, what? Delectors Plus, or quote, Delectors Plus. So in my opinion, I don't like to call it Director's Cut, end quote. First announced at last month's Summer Kickoff Live event, Death Stranding Director's Cut adds visual buffs and DualSense specific haptic feedback. It'll include a bunch of new content too, building up the story of Norman Reedus' Sam Bridges, and feature a Metal Gear sneaky box. All of the new stuff, according to PlayStation blog, is, quote, carefully woven into the core game experience, end quote. Death Stranding Director's Cut comes out on September 24th for PS5.
Woo woo. So Hide Indoors writes in, just like you can too, if you're a member of our Discord over at the Trophy Room Discord, or you could tweet at us at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. And they ask, there has been this whole hullabaloo going on about calling a repackaged version of a game a director's cut. In the end, does it really matter what the moniker is given? Are you not going to buy the game if it's just a Game of the Year edition? ? Does a definitive edition throw you in a way that a director's cut never could? Kyle, there has been a hullabaloo over this. Just the naming director's cut.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts here? Because what is the hullabaloo? Is it worth it?
Hullabaloo count. We're at 4 or 5 now.
We're at 4 or 5, give or take. I like hullabaloo. That's a word that I allow on the show. Gladly. I think we need to endorse that word.
Sure. AAA hullabaloo. New shirt coming soon. Yeah. I think I don't care what a game is called. I really don't. Like Hide Indoors was saying, it used to be the Game of the Year edition. It used to be a definitive edition. Yeah. Now it's Director's Cut, it seems. I just don't care what it is. Just give me the copy with all the added stuff into it, and I'll take it. Yeah. I don't understand why it's this big, argument or discussion over a director's cut. Kojima, sure, if he's saying he doesn't like the word director's cut because that ties to a film that is either shortened or whatever, and this isn't that, this is just new stuff edited in, I get it. That's Kojima's choice. I don't care. The only thing that I wish maybe if I were to tweak it a little bit and if PlayStation's going to have a line of all these director's cuts, PlayStation fight it a little bit.
Oh, really?
Why not just call it like the Platinum Edition?
Oh.
Or like I just went to Platinum Edition.
Okay.
There's something else in my brain. But like, yeah, just like make it more like PlayStation.
Afied. I get it. To me, yeah, I don't understand the hullabaloo here. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the anger. Put another tally. I love that word, man. I endorse it. I don't get the hate that it's getting or like the nonsense because at the end of the day, it literally is just a Game of the Year edition. It's just Sony's way of making it special, which is silly,
making
but
it feel high end a little bit.
Exactly. That's all. They're making it so like because if it was called the Platinum Edition, well, people are just going to assume it's a Game of the Year edition and walk away. Director's Cut is nomenclature that we don't use often. So when people are like Director's Cut, what does that mean? Yeah, you're going to get extra stuff that you never got before or whatever, or repackage in X, Y, or Z. So it's just a way to market it. And I feel like, to me, it is just people want to be angry about something, and I think that something is being charged $10 for that upgrade. I think that's really it. That said, Jedi Master Ren goes with this question: with Kojima coming out and sharing his thoughts on the director cut nomenclature, do you think that he may be upset with how Sony is rolling out with his new edition of the game? Also, this could be a deciding factor with him of getting in bed with Xbox to work with an exclusive for them. So, okay, Kojima's thoughts about the director's cut is something that's noteworthy because even him, himself, he has a problem with it. He's like, and I highlighted it here and I messed you up and I apologize. But it's like, it's usually an additional thing to a shortened version that was released reluctantly because the director didn't have time to edit it. I think this is also something to do with the translation, because the way I see it, it's him saying, I didn't cut anything in this game. This is just more stuff added to it. So it's not really a director's cut. It's more like a director's plus, right?
Sure.
It's him trying to say that I think the way I read it is like, Sony's not interfering with my vision. The game I wanted to tell was here. We just have more stuff littered in this game if you want it. I feel it's kind of the same thing as like after we record a podcast or after we make a video or after you do anything with your time, like making something, after it's done, you're like, ooh, I could have added this and maybe that would have made it better. Yeah. And so like this is him just going back and adding some cool new things to make that experience even better. Yeah. So in a way it is sort of like a director's cut because he is making the base thing better by adding things to it. It's just that naming thing is throwing people off because it's so tied to movies and that kind of media. And it sounds a little pretentious, let's be real.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely does.
The other thing is like is Sony rolling this out annoying him? No, not enough to go over to Xbox or even maybe at all. Like this is just more money for him in between his next game, which is going to be, if all the rumors are aligned, the stars align and all that, it's going to be with Xbox. So to me, I think the reason why he's not working with PlayStation is that Death Stranding didn't sell that great. And if anything, this is a second chance for that studio to kind of sell more copies and maybe turn some more heads. Maybe time has been the factor here. And with people coming out going, you know what, Death Stranding was actually a pretty damn good game. Maybe that gives people a chance to maybe check it out if they, ignored it the first time around. That's the way I see it, at least. Right? Nagachaka, though, writes in, Kyle. He says, we have 2 confirmed PlayStation Director Cut games coming to the PlayStation 5. If this trend continues, what's the next PlayStation game to receive the Director's Cut treatment? Perhaps Last of Us 2 bundled with Factions multiplayer? I feel like we talked about this a little bit last week, but I definitely think Last of Us is next. I think that makes the most sense. I don't know. What say you?
Either Last of Us or God of War.
Okay.
Like right before God of War Ragnarok or whatever it is, we get that kind of director's cut of the first game with, I don't know what they would add per se. But yeah, it's definitely one of those two, I feel. It's too early for Ratchet, too early for a Returnal one. I mean, do you want to say it or do you want me to say it?
Please, Kyle. It would be my honor if you said it, sir.
Could it be the Bloodborne director's cut?
Kyle, let me tell you something. It has been 1,938 days since the launch of Bloodborne. We keep on hearing rumors about this, by the way, and people thinking they're real sly. Like, and also, by the way, I'm getting a little distracted because you know how I told you off the show.
Oh no, it's the desk going.
The desk is making sounds on the left side, so I'm gonna move it. See, yeah, we need a new desk. It literally fell a little bit like by a centimeter. I'm a little nervous. But maybe it's just the hype for a Bloodborne PC remake thingy. That said, I don't even think Bloodborne's it. Like, there's been so many rumors about it, and somebody's going to claim to be right by the time this thing actually happens. But I just don't even think a Bloodborne during the middle of the holiday makes sense, really. Like, oh, here's the thing. Like, if it's correct and the stars align again and Horizon comes out, why would you want to do Bloodborne, bloodier edition? Doesn't make sense, or director's cut. And also months before Elden Ring, I don't really see that happening. Like, it's like a lot of people are like, this is a small team in From Software. I'm like, I don't think so. I think everybody's on the Elden Ring right now at From. So as much as I would love that, I don't think that's it. I really do think it's The Last of Us Part 2. I think it is, the Factions edition as well, that they'll probably try to charge you money for. Maybe they'll give it to you for free, but no, they'll charge you. Fully Foolish writes, and let me know if I said your name correctly. I apologize if I haven't. They write, what would be your ultimate PlayStation director's cut if you got to choose from the library of past or present? Also, I just want to say, loving the podcast. It's so much fun to listen to, and I look forward to each episode. Thank you
Thank you, Fully.
That means so much to me. Kyle? Oh, that's beautiful.
What is the director's cut that I want?
Yeah, what is it?
Oh, I got it.
Anything, past or present.
Anything. Kyle. I got it.
Okay, all right.
Give me that Order 1886 director's cut.
Oh,
give me a little bit more of that universe, because that universe is fantastic. Those characters are great.
Yeah,
it's super interesting. There's more to that, and that potential sequel that was teased at the end of that game. Mm-hmm. I would love to revisit that world with some more new stuff in there. Gameplay aside of like it not being everyone's cup of tea or what we expected it to be. I just really dug the whole vibe of Order 1886.
I feel you. I think that's a really good one, and out of left field, because everybody's gonna say, like, I don't know, like, again,
Resistance for me, or like Bloodborne for you,
And honestly, the game that I would like to see get that director's cut treatment, like, and really what we're praying for at this point is like a reboot, is SOCOM. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, dude, it's been a minute since we got a good SOCOM game. Part of me would say Resistance as well, just because, just have Insomniac rework those designs, because I'm a stickler when it comes to a good FPS. So like, if FPSs are, I think for me, the hardest game to go back to, because they keep on getting refined year in, year out. And, the physics work in certain games or get upgraded as time goes on, and they don't age well, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would like to see maybe a Resistance or a Killzone, since those are a bit more modern, get the touch up.
Yeah.
But man, I just want SOCOM again. I miss that multiplayer from that game. And when I'm thinking multiplayer, Kyle, it's straight up the PSP, multiplayer. That was so much fun. It was so good. And I think, I think we're yearning for it. I would love a director's cut of that. So I think that's it. But again, it's more like I'm wanting a reboot. I don't know.
Yeah, you just want it back in
some way, shape, or form.
In the world again. Like, it needs to be revived.
Exactly.
It's kind of what you want from it. Yeah, absolutely. I get that.
So at the end of the day, Death Stranding's a thing. It exists. It's going to have a director's cut. Kyle, I think we talked about it last week. I don't think I'm going back to it. I've got my fill of the Death Stranding. Good. You still on board?
Yeah, I still want to shoot things with that cargo cannon and ride that buddy bot and see what the new story stuff is. Because as crazy and weird and obtuse that story is at times, I am excited to see what new things that Kojima added. Because I do love those characters very, very much. Before we move on to the next one, though, I have a question for you.
Oh, go for it.
We talked about it last week about the Ghost expansion and the upgrade price and stuff like that. Does the leak or the rumor from a QA tester of the Iki Island expansion being 15 to 20 hours of gameplay, is that worth that money in your eyes? Because to me, I think it's worth it at like 10 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just wondering where you were on that.
That's a great question, dude. So yeah, apparently on Twitter, it was leaked by, I believe the place is called PlayStation Universe, which will be mentioned to you a little later in the show, saying that a QA tester has come out saying that it is around like 10 to 15 hours of content. It's very expansive. I don't buy that for a second. I'm going to be real with you. I don't think it's 10 or 15 hours long. I do think it's in the realm of 5 to 6, like 5 to 8 even. And even that is giving it a lot of, credit, because take a look at Miles Morales. That game is a, what is it, $50 game at this point, right? Yes. 70 with the remaster. That game is, for the most part, an expansion to a standalone expansion to Spider-Man. So, it is using the same map, and sometimes, the same like enemies type of deal, but it's an expanded story that has special cutscenes and all that in the game. But in hindsight, it's about 8 to 6 hours. So if it's 8 to 6 hours for a $50 game, what is a $30 or $20 experience?
Sure.
I think it's a lot shorter than that. So again, I don't buy that rumor, because I feel like you're setting yourself up for disappointment if that's the case.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
And for me, Kyle, I think also when they mean 10 to 15, I think it's also with Legends content on top of that. So
okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. What say you when it comes to that Ghost of Tsushima director's cut rumor?
I can see it.
Yeah?
I can see it being like that 15 to 20 hour mark because like in the differences between Ghost and Miles Morales per se, swinging around that city as Miles is so much faster than riding on a horse or just running around that world on the island. So I feel like, and that's probably not the most exciting comparison I can make, but you're going to spend more time in this island just traversing and finding all these cool little side things to do and petting monkeys and foxes and all that stuff than Miles as you're whipping through and just checking your phone for nearby crimes to do. So I think there's going to be a lot of new side stuff and new armor to go collect in the sets and whatnot. And I'm just really excited to get back to it, Joe. Honestly, I'm itching.
Yeah?
I'm itching to get back to Ghost.
Are you going to admit that it was robbed of Game of the Year?
Nope. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
God, it's a perfect game. It really is. I think about it almost every day. I got like, I'm in Ghost mode right now. I got it on my Spotify. I'm every day listening to it.
You're ready. Yeah.
God, I'm so ready. Let's go. That said, you know what I'm not ready for? Persona stuff.
You didn't see it coming, Joe. No. Rebecca Smith over at PS Lifestyle writes, Persona 25th anniversary website teases 7 new game projects and celebration events. Atlus has introduced a 25th anniversary website for the Persona franchise, as well as a thank you message for the fans. The site teases 7 new game projects and celebration events to be revealed throughout the year, starting this September and ending in fall 2022. As translated by Gamatsu, the message thanks fans for supporting the franchise throughout the last past 25 years, confirming the Persona games have now hit another major sales milestone. As of 2021, the Persona series has sold over 15 million copies worldwide. To all of our fans that have supported us for so long, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And this coming September, the Persona series will finally celebrate its 25th anniversary. To show our gratitude, we are preparing a number of celebrations over the one-year period from September 2021 to fall 2022. From 25th anniversary goods and various events to game news and more, we will be making all sorts of anniversary announcements. Please look forward to them.
Ooh, Cloudside writes in with this question. With the excitement building for Atlus's Persona announcements, do you think Sony will be able to snag Persona 6 as a PlayStation exclusive, and how big would that actually be? Persona 5 was an amazing game and probably led people buying a PlayStation just for that game. That's a great question.
I don't see the PlayStation Persona partnership ending anytime soon.
Really?
I don't, because I think PlayStation sees that as a valuable thing to have of come get this mainline game here on PlayStation and only on PlayStation.
Well, and I'm thinking Atlus is seeing this property and going, we can get this thing to grow. Like, we're seeing Strikers sold really well. We're seeing that, Persona 4 Golden sold really well on Steam. Like, they were surprised by it for some reason. I think it's going to cost them way more money to throw at for Persona to be a PlayStation exclusive. While at the other hand, like, we know Xbox is hungry. And I bet they'd be willing to throw a pretty penny at this. Like, you saw, Xbox threw a buku amount of money at Kingdom Hearts and Scarlet Nexus, and even Elden Ring is going to have that promotional material. All those games are going to sell better or have sold better on PlayStation, but Xbox is determined to get people, Western folks, into JRPGs, to tell people, hey, you could come for our stuff too, because I think Xbox is missing a huge market by ignoring JRPGs. Because
I've been saying that for years. Xbox just does not acknowledge JRPGs in the slightest.
And as their localization, from what I understand, has gotten just leaps and bounds better, I think this is something they really, really, really want, and more power to them. Like, I don't think, because Atlus is owned by Sega, so many people want Sega to be bought by Xbox. That's never going to happen. And if it does, like, there's no way they're going to say Persona's only on Xbox. That would be that would literally be a death nail to that series. I believe that maybe that's a fanboy statement. Maybe you could yell at me in the comments. Probably that one's. I got one guy going, Joe, that was such a stupid, ignorant statement. I just picture it in my head. Shut up. Shut your beautiful mouth. Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe. So, like, for me, I could see Xbox going, how much can we give you to put this on Game Pass, or let us advertise it? Like, here's a buku amount of this. Here's a dumb amount of money here.
I get that. And I think that's also why PlayStation will also back up the trucks.
Okay.
Because I think that is a thing of, like, Persona 5 is in the PlayStation Plus collection of games that you can download for free. Royal was a huge hit, even though it came out, a year after 5 or 2 years after 5 already? Like, people rebought that and played that whole game.
Director's
hundreds
cut
of hours of game. Absolutely. They bought a director's cut. I just think that Persona mainline games and PlayStation work so well together. Okay. And they have that long lineage, and you do get those spin-offs that show up, like, on the 3DS or now the Switch, or basically, like, on Nintendo consoles.
Joker's in Smash.
He is in Smash.
I could see them. I could see them honestly going, listen, we won't give you Xbox, but, like, we're going to Nintendo. Because they'd be stupid not to. I'd eat that shit up. I'd buy it on a Nintendo console before PlayStation, just so I could take it on the go with me, with my new OLED Switch. They insult their fans so much that they continue to buy it.
I think with these, though...
Yeah.
I think Persona has a good... I think Persona has a good chance for going to Xbox with all these announcements. I still think, though, Persona 6 might be a PlayStation exclusive, but the other Persona games will be coming to Xbox eventually.
And I mean, they dumped all the money with Square in Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it could go very much both ways. I'd like it, in all truth and honesty, to go multi-plat so more people get to experience it.
Yeah,
because I know this ain't for me, so there's no skin in the game for me. Famous Seamus writes, so Atlus has teased that they have 7 projects for Persona's 25th anniversary. What would you like to see Atlus do for the anniversary? Can I tell you what one project I'd like to see? I think it'd be a real deep cut. Why can't Persona at this point have their own Smash Brothers? With all the characters.
They have a Persona fighting game.
Oh, do they really?
I believe there is a Persona fighting game amongst the IP. I think it was a PS2?
No, actually, now that you're saying that, this makes more sense. Okay. Well, you could tell what type of Persona 4
Arena. Persona 4 Arena was Xbox 360 and PS3 and an arcade game.
Okay. And I just hope it does well against that Nickelodeon's All-Star Royale.
I know,
game.
Man.
It has
give me that game. Give me that Rocco. I'm a Rocco main. Do you know what I'm saying?
That game has no rollback netcode, which the fighting community's going nuts for. It's like all these like prestigious fighters don't have this basic necessity for fighters, and Nickelodeon foot the bill. Are you kidding me? I feel like they did it for the Vine. Like they just did it to do it. You know?
Yeah.
Just for the meme, and it succeeded. Kyle, what do you want? Obviously, I'm a fake fan. Someone yell at me in the comments again. Like, share, subscribe, please.
I mean, I'm almost in the same boat because I've never finished a Persona. I played a ton of 5.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of 4 Golden, which I know I need to get back to. Same thing with 5. I need to get back to those eventually. But what I would love to do is, because there's so many games and so many amazing characters that people vibe with, give me a multiverse of Persona. Where all the main characters come together, and that's your party as you're going to fight.
Like a Kingdom Hearts-esque type of thing.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. But you're fighting this like big bad of Persona. I don't even know if that's even a thing that could be possible.
Maybe it's a thing that already exists, Kyle.
It could. It very well could be. But I would love. They all have to deal with like a school theme. I would love a different looking kind of school.
Okay.
Like more of a futuristic kind of setting in a Persona game, I think would be dope.
And maybe, just maybe, a hint, maybe a word of advice. This doesn't have to be a school; it could be a university. So Joe doesn't have to feel guilty for liking the girl with the spandex and the whip and the, you know. Joe doesn't have to go seek counseling. Maybe do that for me.
I thought,
because when I found out, I was Kyle. I'm not a Persona fan, so I was like, everybody's talking about best girl, and then I'm like, guys, what are we doing here? I feel like you guys should be in prison.
Yeah, when you did the whip noise before, I thought you could chowed like Lightning McQueen because you cut out a little bit. Like, oh boy, I didn't know you did that show. Just in regular conversation.
Oh, wow, yeah. Kyle, listen, let's talk about something that I know a thing or two about.
Absolutely. Joe Scrubbles over at IGN writes, Battlefield 2042, new gen and last gen console differences explained. We already knew that last gen versions of the game would see a 64-player multiplayer cap as compared to the 128 players on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. But it seems one extra difference comes in the form of map size, which will seemingly be smaller on PS4 and Xbox One. In a Battlefield briefing, EA explained, quote, "Our intention is to ensure that nothing detracts from the overall experience of playing Battlefield 2042. The main differences between console generations is that we've made adjustments to the playable area on the maps to ensure a fluid play experience for Xbox One and PS4 consoles," end quote. EA does make clear that aside from the map size, there will be no differences in gameplay features between versions of the game. Weapons, vehicles, specialists, and gadgets all remain the same no matter what generation of console you're playing on, reads the briefing. Dynamic weather events such as tornadoes or environmental hazards like EMP storms will also be experienced by all players. One final difference comes in the form of crossplay, likely as a direct result of the changes made for last-gen versions. While PS Oh my God. While PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5 players will be able to play together, Xbox One and PS4 players will only be able to crossplay with other last-gen owners. Battlefield 2042 will be released on October 22nd and won't include campaign or battle royale modes, but it will include huge matches, new modes, and huge environmental effects. We'll be learning more at EA Play Live on July 22nd.
So 2 things with this bit of news. First and foremost, we're going to be covering EA Play on July 22nd. So make sure you're aware, put it down on a calendar. Chances of next week's episode being delayed till Friday is at a 100%. Sure. We want to make sure we're covering this event. It's going to be big enough. Unless something major happens in between, we'll have a little emergency episode and we'll have a little bite-sized version of the trophy room.
It's times like that I wish we had a studio and the means to make this happen. But what are you saying? There's 100% chance you do the weatherman forecast with like the green screen.
Yeah. Doppler radar over here says chance to rain on this EA Play event.
Incoming dead space.
We have a dead space moving in from the right in the northeast.
We have an Isaac Clarke coming here. Yeah. A Bloodborne director's cut. A few days away on the West Coast.
And we got a tropical storm that is the Death Stranding director's cut coming in from the southeast. Yeah.
Oh, and then there's this whole abandoned thing. It's a cold front. It'll come and go. Who knows?
That's a rant. I'm sick of Blue Box Studios. You're on notice. They're about to be banned. What is with your vague tweets? Anyway, nonetheless, I'm tired of covering you. Just know you're on notice, Assad. All right. Or San, rather. So, we're going to be, again, next episode this Friday, unless something huge PlayStation happens. Emergency episode in between that. You guys have been warned. Just, get those RSS feeds checked every day for us. That's not a huge ask. The other thing, Xbox One owners, PS4 owners of Battlefield, you ain't playing with us, all right? Get a PlayStation 5, you filthy casual. Okay, go get an Xbox Series, yeah. Get a second job, you hippie. Get these consoles if you want to play with us, all right? Deal? This kind of sucks. Right? Because, I heard a lot of people go, well, you know what? At least I could play with my friends on PS4, and when I upgrade in the holiday, it's there. And now that's not really the case. But on the other side of the coin, free cross-progression. Cross-play is great, but cross-progression between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, that's huge, so that when I am upgrading to my PS5, I'm not losing any of the things that I bought or earned. So I think
that's the big thing here is the cross progression. Because if you were to only be playing against like PS4 players, if you're on PS4, and then when you upgrade, all that stuff you unlocked and all the cool things you did are gone, and you have to start over. That sucks. We've been in that boat before. I think we've moved on, and that quality of life thing should be a standard of just like you do thing in a previous game, everything stays unlocked for you in the new version.
Yeah, it should be easy. There should be a smart way of delivering this. Yeah, it's crazy nobody coined that term.
I know, right?
Maybe
I think Albert Einstein might have.
Yeah, maybe someone. Maybe. PlayStation, get on that, because the way your cross saves are is a mess.
It's not great.
It is embarrassing, and it's bad, and I want you guys to know that. That said,
it's bad, and you should feel bad.
It's bad, you should feel bad. I'm so pumped for EA Play Live, man. Let me see Dead Space. Let me see Battlefield. We don't know what we're doing in terms of how we're covering it, because Kyle, I know you're going to be working when EA Play is going live.
I'll be behind bars.
You'll be behind bars, handing out the packs of stogies.
Listen, man, taking every Smartie from these kids that they own in poker.
Exactly. Taking away the shivs. But we're going to try our best to stream it. I'm going to be. Kyle's like, could you hold out for me? I'm like, there's no way. It's Dead Space, man. It's Dead Space. Like, sorry.
I swear, Joe.
Kyle.
And this is I'm not making this up for the show.
Please.
If I fucking miss, there's that bomb for the episode.
Ooh.
If I miss the revival of SSX or EA Big in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to be mad. If you get to see that before me, I'm going to be mad.
Let me tell you how I don't play. Okay, I've been watching like Loki with my brother every week. It's our bonding time. He literally said to me, this morning, he's like, "Oh, Joe, I'm doing something with Dad. Could we watch it later together?" I'm like, "No, I'm watching it right now." I woke up at 6 o'clock for this, and you're not taking it away from me. And I was a real sourpuss that morning, but it was worth it. What a finale! So yeah, that's me. Like if it's something I'm legitimately excited for. Oh my God. I can't be stopped. That said, you know who's really excited about a few things, Kyle?
Who?
Phil Daddy Spencer.
Oh, our intern made the news?
He made the news. That's right. That's
crazy. That's a deep cut that I don't think we do anymore. But
we haven't done it in a while.
Michael Harradence over at PlayStation Universe writes, Sony has done a nice job with the DualSense controller, says Phil Spencer. Microsoft executive Phil Spencer has sprinkled praise over Sony's DualSense controller, saying the format holder has done a nice job with the PS5 pad and hinted the Xbox manufacturer could update its own controller. Speaking on the latest Kinda Funny Gamecast, Spencer didn't hide the fact that Team Xbox is obviously quite impressed with the DualSense, but doesn't reckon there's any more bespoke accessories coming from Microsoft just yet. Spencer stated, quote, "We're definitely thinking about different kinds of devices that can bring more games to more places. There's probably some work that we'll do on the controller. I think Sony's done a nice job with their controller, and we kind of look at some of that and think there are things that we should go do. But we're probably not in the more bespoke accessories place right now. We just look at what happens on Windows and other places and see if there's a unique opportunity for us. Right now, I don't think there's anything that's obvious to me," end quote. So you're telling me, Phil Spencer, you're looking at Windows,
yeah,
and you're seeing this update that adds this weather ticker at the bottom of my taskbar? I don't want that. You're gonna add that to Xbox?
Yeah.
A little weather ticker whenever you log in? Don't do that.
Okay, but I know it's 78 degrees, mostly clear. Yeah. With a chance
I'm
of
75
rain.
Degrees. Mostly clear.
Look at that. A lot of people. I saw a tweet, Kyle, and it, of course, since it's a tweet on Twitter, it's a negative, where someone said along the lines of, "Look at Xbox. Look at them. They just steal. They just steal tech, Kyle. They don't have any respect. Sony innovates. Okay, they're the true innovators here. Something along those lines." Yeah. I'm going to tell you something, King. Haptic feedback wasn't created when the PlayStation 5 was made. Same with 3D audio. Same with adaptive anything. Settle down. All right. Every corporation steals from each other. Speaking of Windows, they stole their original OS from Apple. There's a big stink about that. Apple stole many things from their competitors. Samsung as well. They all do it. These are corporations. Settle down.
Yeah. Haptics have been around since 90s movies where they show up virtual reality.
Exactly.
They're like, hey, the haptics in this vest that you wear. Like, it's been around for a very long time.
There's haptic sweaters that you can put on. Haptic body pillows. I'm not positive on that one, but come on.
Excuse me? Are those a thing?
Come on, you know it's happened.
Excuse me, I'm muting my mic. I'm Googling.
No. It's no. It's the internet. It's gonna take you to something sexual, Kyle.
Haptic body.
No. Hello. Oh no, there's an orifice in that pillow. 100%. Oh no.
Oh wow, that's a big body pillow.
No way. Anyway, they all steal. They all take tech from each other. I really like, dare I give
Does this
praise
take PayPal? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Dare I give praise to Phil Spencer? Okay, dare I? For him to say, hey, this is cool tech that they got on the PlayStation. Maybe we'll use it, maybe we don't, but we like what they did with their controller.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, right? Like...
What's your thoughts on this? And while I look up this body pillow, because I think you're full of it.
I didn't find an actual haptic body pillow. I found haptic vests that you can buy. I don't know why you would need that. Yeah, I think this is cool. I love when these companies, get together and just, congratulate each other on things. But it's not like we haven't seen this before. Like Xbox and Sony go back and forth. Hey, congrats on the Last of Us release or the praise or whatever it is. And same thing with PlayStation towards Xbox, and Nintendo's on the sidelines just like, hey, I'm over here. I think I like when they do this. I think it's obvious that everyone's looking at the PlayStation 5 like, oh, that DualSense, that is next level.
Yeah.
Like we're in the age now of, in future generations of consoles and video games, it's going to be the way we play the game, not what the game is going to look like. Uh-oh, Joe found a pillow.
No. Not problematic, I promise. Tactical haptic face cushion HMDs. $150. Here's the literal first sentence describing this. I only literally read 5 words, and I was like, stop the show. Feel the headshot and punches on your head.
Yes.
With the one and only haptic face. Well, are you kidding me?
So this was a thing with like VR news where, you could wear it and you can feel the headshots and the hits and stuff. And like, why would anybody want that?
Yeah,
I don't want that.
This brings us back to our PSVR news where it's like, it's haptic in the mask.
No, I don't want that.
I don't want anything that resembles a headshot. I don't want
to crush my head.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Unless you're Lady Gaga, that's not allowed. But like, to me as well, like, I don't want that in my life. Like, I don't want to get PTSD for VR. Are you kidding me?
No.
All right. Nonetheless, sorry, Kyle. What you were stating earlier, I totally agree with. It's like, I like when companies do this. They treat each other like people, and it gets out of this console dumb war mentality. I dig it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, honestly, if Microsoft adopts it, that means more devs use it, which means it gets widely adopted, and then everybody gets to experience haptics. And we don't have to fear if it's just a gimmick that's supported in the first year and then gone forever. I want Xbox to adopt it. It's dope.
Yeah.
That being said, Kyle, you got an Xbox Series X. You're abandoning us. You're creating the achievement hall.
Not at
all. How do you feel about the Series X controller? Like, you've been playing with the DualSense for quite a long time. Like, what are your thoughts on it? Do you miss the haptics and stuff?
So like I've used this on PC throughout the year, just so like when I stream on it. So I have used it before, and honestly, I do every time I play with this. I miss the DualSense.
Fair.
It's not that this is a bad controller. It's just that my hands are used to the form factor of the DualSense, DualShock, of the analog sticks being level together, and like every single time without fail I play a game that does not have the sacred symbols on it. I have to look down and like, all right, which one is it? What bumper is RB? Which one's LT? Like, it's I'm still learning my way through it, but the DualSense just feels fantastic in my hands, and Sony hit a home run, like I was saying while you found that headshot thing. Games are already drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah.
They already sound great. I don't know how much better we can innovate in the visual department. So the way we play games and the things that we hold and interact with these games, I think is the future of what generations are going to do. And that like controllers are only going to be more added on and worked on and more cool things to make you even more immersed are going to happen in that DualSense.
Yeah, I dig it, and I'm right there with you as well. So cool. Thank you, Phil, for being a nice guy. And being a meme and just running with it.
Yeah.
That said, Kyle, it's time for some Flash news. We got some sad news to start off Flash news, and that is Ghostwire Tokyo delayed till 2022 for PS5 and PC. This comes from the official tweet. We've made the decision to delay the launch of Ghostwire Tokyo to early 2022. We want to get the game in your hands as soon as possible so you can experience the unforgettable version of the haunted Tokyo that we've been hard at work building. At the same time, we're focused on protecting the health of everyone here at Tango, reads a line from the developer's statement. Come on, me. Our new release window will give us time to bring the world of Ghostwire to life as we always envisioned it. Thank you for your patience as we work to bring you an experience unlike anything else we've made. We can't wait to show you more in the coming months. Cool. Take your time.
Good on you, Tango. I love that line, protecting the health of everyone at Tango.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, we understand a lot of things are happening in Japan, COVID wise. So keep your people safe, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Games are great, but we can wait.
And if we were that console war kind of podcast, we would be saying right now, haha, Xbox, you got to wait even longer.
No, no. It's we spoke too soon about Nice Guy Phil. Okay, he paid Tango. He ordered it. Delay the game. Stupid.
Do it.
Do it. Must be done. Tango workforce or whatever.
And they're like, what is that?
Just do it. Yeah, screw it.
Final Fantasy 14 Complete Edition has sold out digitally on PC and PS4. This comes from Patrick Devini over at PS Lifestyle. Here's a story, Kyle. It almost made the main stuff. I do have to read a chunk of it, but Kyle,
go for it.
There's some backstory to this. Players are currently unable to purchase Final Fantasy XIV Complete Edition on both PC and PS4 as they are sold out on the Square Enix storefront. Yes, you read that right or heard it right. A digital release, is actually completely sold out, stemming from code allotments generated by the storefronts for the developer to sell. However, a waiting list is available for both versions of the game, despite the lack of codes being provided by the publisher itself. Steam and Mac versions are still available for purchase. Don't insult me by saying Macs have games, okay? I'm a Mac user. Boy, the digital version of the game is being sold out. Was first noticed by SkillUp, who posted the observation on Twitter. He notes that not only is the game sold out, but the character creation on the North American servers was also limited. With the current massive expansions, it's strange to see such enormous growth from the game's popularity. Normally, multiplayer games like this tend to slow down in between expansions, rather than seeing a stem of players. However, some of this growth could be attributed to World of Warcraft players migrating to this MMORPG instead. Kyle, I meme World of Warcraft because it means so much to me. I love it.
Yeah.
Here's something. Apparently, the twist in the latest expansion of World of Warcraft was so bad that the day that the new cinematic for the next story arc happened, the literal day after, the uptick in Final Fantasy 15 exploded.
Oh.
It seems like at this point, WoW may be starting to actually hemorrhage because they ran out of ideas 2 expansions ago. So, yeah, very interesting to see. It hurts because I love Warcraft. It is like my beloved. Like, if we want, we can have a deep dive into the lore and I get to sit you down and tell you story time. That's how I know it. I'm an encyclopedia. They really screwed up Sylvanas' arc.
If we get to like 150 patrons, that could be a thing.
All right, Patreon people, you know what to do. At 70, we get a Soulsborne series.
Yeah, this news is wild to me for a couple of reasons.
Tell me.
Also, shameless plug, go check out my conversation with Odell Harmon Jr. On the Full Circle podcast, because we talked about this news of it being sold out digitally. Digitally. Did they run out of permutations of the code to give out to people? That's wild to me. Yeah. Also, this just gives me more reason as to be a physical only person.
Oh yeah,
because the fact that like it's digitally, it's run out. Like, this is, I never thought that was a thing that could ever happen. Ever.
And I'm like, how are you gonna fix that? Are you gonna add 1 digit? How's that gonna work?
Right? I don't know.
You put an A in the beginning and then a new line of code starts?
I guess. But like, good for Final Fantasy fans. I love that Final Fantasy is getting the love. Final Fantasy 14 is now over a decade old.
Wow.
And it's still going this strong, and more people are going every day. I want to get into it. I'm afraid that will be the only game I play. Because I just know I'm going to get sucked in, and it's going to be hard to pull me out. But I love that Final Fantasy is going to be strong for many, many years.
For many moons.
Also, Joe, I cannot tell you how distracting this pop-up on my computer is. And it's gaming related because it's the Epic Game Store thing.
Oh, boy.
I got new in-game Fortnite. Play as LeBron James.
LeBron James.
I was like, oh, okay, LeBron. You're going to shoot guns? All right, that's weird.
That's weird. Kyle, you read this next bit of Flash News because you picked it up.
Yeah. From Variety, Richard Lawler writes, Netflix hires former EA and Oculus execs to head its gaming efforts. A report this spring from The Information said that Netflix was seeking an executive to lead its push into gaming, with an eye toward offering an Apple Arcade or Xbox Game Pass-like subscription bundle. Now, as first reported by Bloomberg, the streaming company has hired Mike Verdu as its vice president of game development, reporting to COO Greg Peters. A Netflix spokesperson confirmed the hire to The Verge. According to Bloomberg, Netflix could offer games right next to its other streaming content, quote, within the next year, end quote, listed as a new genre just like documentaries or anything else without charging extra for the experience. Verdu is a former exec who has experience with mobile gaming companies like Zynga, ran EA Mobile for a year, and most recently has been working at Facebook acquiring a series of Oculus game developers like Big Box VR, maker of Population 1.
Kyle, you brought this up
Joe?
Right before the show. What is your take of Netflix now trying to get into the game sphere? What are they thinking?
Stop it.
Do they know we
Stop
run
it.
these
This is a
sheets?
last year joke. My streaming service is coming soon. Everyone's getting to the streaming service. I don't understand it. I do like that it's coming at no extra cost because Netflix is already getting too expensive.
Yeah. We actually have debated why we still have it in the house.
I mean, same. I think we have it because the girls watch it every night. Like, that's their thing. But
I mean, where else
Disney
are you going
Plus
to find
is
the show
slowly...
with the people with dolphin faces?
Absolutely. Oh, man, that should be out soon. Thanks for reminding me of that show.
God's truly abandoned us.
I'm just concerned that the games that are going to be on Netflix are going to be like mobile type experiences.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. This is going to be like the Apple One or Apple Arcade. Yeah.
When I saw this, I really was excited because if this meant we got Telltale versions of Netflix properties, I think that would be super cool. But it doesn't seem like that's what we're getting.
Yeah. I mean, was it Black Mirror, right? They did something
Black
similar.
Mirror had Bandersnatch, I believe.
Yeah. This just screams like another company that doesn't understand games thinking that it's going to make a mark in games, and I don't think it's going to make a mark.
I mean, Netflix already is doing stuff in games like the Stranger Things game.
Yeah.
The old school 8-bit retro style thing. They also did they not do the Minecraft story mode with Telltale?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that through Netflix
yes,
or
I think
something
that's
like
through
that?
Netflix. Yeah. I
So
mean, they've done
they've
shows.
dabbled.
But are we really expecting a AAA game out of this? I don't think so. But I do think this is an alarming thing we're about to walk into, and I don't think enough people are really looking at, is more media companies are going into games. A lot of them will fail. But when I keep hearing, like, again, maybe next week or tomorrow, the news comes out, it's like NetherRealms has been purchased by Xbox. Like, we're seeing more media folks go, we want in on this because we see how much money it makes. But I just think they see the money, but they don't understand how that money is generated. So this is a worrying sign because we're going to get a lot of, I'm not thinking it's going to be like the crash in the 80s where there's this like Petco made a fucking console.
I mean, case in point, Ouya. Ouya wanted to get into the game. Ooh, boy. It just turned out to be like a mobile game thing and no one really used it.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Remember Nintendo Labo? That's 2 dings at Nintendo this episode. Yeah, so we'll see where this leads, but I don't think it's going anywhere. Kyle, I want to get into a conversation because this was a bit of a slower news week, but gosh darn it, I loved it. I want to talk about our game of the year so far, our top games of 2021, because it's July. My goodness gracious. It's been 7 months, dozens of games have come out. Dozens upon dozens, Kyle. I want to know what's spoken to you this year, because to me, this has been a really, really weird year. Like, we're seeing how these companies have been affected finally by the panorama, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know, what are the games that have hit for you special? Maybe run down a list. And what is right now, if you say the game of the year is for you? Or actually, you know what? We'll save that. We'll save your number one. We'll get to audience picks before that. But tell me some of the games that spoke to you.
Yeah. So I'll start with the one that I did not play on PlayStation.
Okay.
It's a PC game. Emily's Away 3. I adore that game and the way that it made me feel. Kyle Seeley, what he did for that game and hit that nostalgia in my brain of, if you don't know what it is, it's like an old school Facebook Messenger thing, and you are living the life of a high schooler falling in love with one of your high school friends, and it's really fantastic. It's really, really good.
I don't want that Shadow again.
Yeah, no, believe me, it messed me up, Joe. Cyber Shadow.
By the hand, that's the song going in my head for some reason. That one night.
One night.
You made everything alright. Sorry. It's
Cyber
the humidity.
Shadow.
Yeah, Cyber Shadow.
Cyber Shadow is dope. Old school, very hard, very difficult. Loved my time with it, even though it was too difficult at times, and I was very frustrated with some of the platforming in it. But it's still so good. Mecha Skull develop it. I believe it's a one-person thing. Yeah. So shout out to that person. I forgot your name off the top of my head. Cyber Shadows is fantastic. Third one, and these are all in no particular order. Maquette. PS Plus game, made me feel the feels, and a really cool puzzler spatial thing where it's like a Russian nesting doll kind of game where there's always a little version of the thing that you're in, and a bigger version as well. Just really heady. I really loved the acting in it. With Bryce Dallas Howard.
You got it.
And her husband, whose name I can't remember. Great performances. I love what that was about. And it was a PS Plus game, so I'm happy that I got to experience it because of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, like, the last two are up in the air for me. I don't know which one's more.
Well,
no, I mean, like, which one's more. So I think people can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the audience's pick, because I'm right there with you. It's kind of up in the air for me as well. I'm leaning one way, but the audience, we reached out to you on Twitter at PS Trophy. You should be a part of it, gang. Follow us there.
Absolutely.
It's a fun time. I post some funny memes from time to time. Or even go to the Discord. We're nice folks. I yell at people only once a day. Selling us. I said, get back to talking. Good Sir writes in, although my outlook on played games on 2021 is very, very limited, I'm still trying to get my hands on a PS5. My game of the year so far, hands down, would be Chicory. The game is a perfect blend of Zelda-like exploration with witty emotional writing and an adult coloring book aesthetic. 100%. I've been playing a bit of it. Yeah. Dude, it's so good. Like, I
can't wait.
You're coloring the world around you to solve puzzles. Things, like platforms pop up if you're coloring them in, or if you erase certain like colors, like you solve just like little puzzles that way. It's really smart, and it's really cute. And how the dialogue's given out is that very much indie. It has a cute, fuzzy like nature to it, and everybody, including your character, is named after food. So my only thing is I named my character Burrito, but I really wanted it to be named Smoky Tabasco Sauce because that's my favorite. But I really regretted the name choice because now I was like, maybe just Tabasco because I love Tabasco.
Well, the way they do it is, what's your favorite food?
Yeah,
and you type it in, and that becomes your name.
Your name. It's so cute, dude. This game is great.
I'm so happy that Chicory is hitting for people. You included, Joe, because that is one of the first games we covered at 6-1 Indie as media people, and I cannot wait to dive into this finally. Media people. Ooh, look at me with my media badge that I show off at awkward times at a
Mom,
Target
look.
in the vitamin section. Hey, Mom, look, I cover games. Look at me. Yeah, Chicory's awesome. I can't wait to finally sit down and play it. And also the music is from Lena Raine, who did the Celeste music. Yeah. So I cannot wait. Did not expect it to be as emotional as people are saying it is. Yeah. But you know me, I cry at games, so I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Dude, it's really good. And you know me, there's not even a gun in here and I like it. I was surprised that no AK-47.
That's why I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Well, you also liked The Last Campfire too when you played it.
Sure. So, I was like, but like, when do I get a Kalashnikov? Like, when's this happening? Ask what, not
where
why.
Where are the headshots?
Where's the haptic headshot thing?
Where are the brain matter particles?
And the thing is, too, with Chicory, it's like, it's non-violent. Like, there's like, quote unquote boss fights, but you're like painting stuff. You're not ever fighting in the game either. You're not using the paintbrush to whack people. This isn't, Epic Mickey's Adventure. It's like, oh, I gotcha. None of that. It's really nice. It's beautiful. It's colorful. I dig it. Ask what, not why, writes, Returnal is my game of the year so far. Now, I say this as someone who hasn't tried to get the platinum, but I love the gameplay and the story was interesting as hell. I still find myself thinking of jumping back in just for the fun of it. I thought Ratchet and Clank was going to do it for me, but unfortunately, it's not hitting what I thought it would. Nothing wrong with it in caps, so don't attack Jose, or else I'll attack you. I just think I'm in a Souls-like period of my life as I'm currently trucking through Neo on the PS5 remaster. Or is it Director's Cut? Who gives a heck? Here's the thing. I tried Neo on PS Now. 5 minutes. I couldn't do it. Why? I can't toggle. Like, a roll for me, a dodge has to be circle. And the fact that they're like, no, it's cross. My brain, my muscle memory couldn't do it, and I'm out.
Yeah, you can't rewire it. I've had that situation before. Yeah.
Don't give me that crap. Don't. Let me God damn it. Anyway, Cloudside writes, for me, I'd say Returnal is my game of the year so far. I was really pleased to get the platinum after a save loss. Ooh, God. Everything from the atmosphere, graphics, story, super smooth gameplay is on point. The beautiful Ratchet and Clank is a close second. With Hades out soon too, I'm sure it'll push them both hard. Now, here's a question. Do you think your final game of the year will come to these three? This is great. I'm going to hold on to that cloud side because I think that's a really great question. And then, and if I'm mispronouncing your name, understand I'm from Jersey. I'm dumb, dyslexic. Darnay Raksha writes in via PS Trophy Room on Twitter, my game of the year so far is Returnal. It looks amazing. Sound design is great. That 3D audio is bonkers. Fast at times, yet somehow everything feels considered and deliberate. What a great way to describe it. There is a lot on the horizon for the rest of the year. I see what you did. But wink, this game is going to be hard to beat. All these fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. For me, my current top games is really difficult. But I want to give a huge shout out to Knockout City. You are a blast. You are a hidden gem. A surprise hit nonetheless. Awesome, fun game. Like, so much fun. Such a great multiplayer game. It's just something you could chill out with your friends. It does have that Splatoon-like nature where it's taking, that 5v5, what you think of multiplayer games, and just making a nice little spin on it. A kid-friendly spin at that. Outriders is the next one. Oh, I found a journal. This game has a lot of jagged edges. But damn if they don't get one thing right. The gameplay is so much fun. It's just a fun as heck game. I love Outriders. I really do. I think it's fantastic. in its gameplay department. You want to turn your brain off? This is the game to do it. And then the 3 for me, Kyle, there's 3 that's really, really hard for me. So I'm going to start with Hitman 3. This is a game I think I've poured the most hours into. Over 100. I love this game. It takes stealth and puzzle solving, 2 things that I hate, and marries them in such a unique way that it makes me love it. Like, I genuinely, Hitman 3 made me such a big fan that I went back to 1, went back to 2 with the technically remastered but reworked engine to make the games look like they belong on the PlayStation 5. This game is absolutely stellar. And I can't recommend it enough. I love Hitman 3. I love IO. And honestly, whatever IO does next, I will be following them. Like,
yeah, they're doing the Bond game.
James Bond. That's right. It sucks that, what's his face? Sean Connery? Very problematic.
Very.
Wow. And it's not like, oh, Joe, you're just like, sensitive. No. You check the interview. You're like, whoa, times have changed. You know? Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Have a lot of fun. I guess your 2 are my 2, right?
Yeah, we share the same top 2 as of now.
Yeah.
Returnal and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I keep going to, like, I love Housemarque games, and I love what Housemarque did with Returnal, and the gameplay loop I found extremely satisfying. The downfall is the grind was too much.
Yeah.
The fact that you could not save in between your runs, little bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
There were some glitches too, where things that kind of broke the game, and like maybe gave me a migraine for 2 days because the sound got real loud out of nowhere. Yeah. Then you got Ratchet and Clank, which is just pure fun. It's what I love playing as a kid. It makes me feel like a kid when I play it. The weapons are cool. They're different enough that you want to use them all. Yeah. You love the performances, especially of Kit and Rivet. But then it's like, it's a little bit on the short side. It's a little bit, it's kind of like a one and done thing. Like right. I thought I would go in and upgrade all the Omega weapons, but I'm not feeling the pull to go back to it. So like they're both kind of up there. Okay. But then there's that looming third game.
Right. I mean,
that going back Herman Hulse would just drop the date, Herman.
Just drop it, Herman. Do you think though, like what Cloudside said? Do you think do you think your final game of the year will be these games? Like, do you think it's going to come down to Returnal or Ratchet for you at the end of the year? I mean, technically Hades you can throw in there, but
yeah, I guess
released last year, but on PlayStation platforms, that's where it matters, right?
Yeah, of course. I think they have a good shot of it, but there are still so many games coming out.
Fair.
That I don't want to crown either one of them yet, because like Kena comes out next month, and that, depending on how great that hits, that could be up there as well. I don't know, man. There's just a lot of really cool games coming this year, and again, Herman, let us know.
Let's go. It's time.
Please. It's so time.
See, here's the thing. With Returnal, I think I beat a dead horse of this. I think it gave me one of the best sci-fi stories in a minute. I think it really proved that if given the opportunity, they can make a story that is really, really, really good. And not give way to what makes Housemarque. At the same exact time, though, that platinum run really did beat a lot of the joy I had out of it. That said, I heard a patch that more sigils will appear, more doors will appear as well.
Oh, beautiful.
So a lot of people that had the problem with like me in the beginning won't have that problem.
Oh, great.
But yeah, that was a bit of an intense grind that I hope they really take the RNG out of trophies. That said though, like, God, that game is stellar. That gameplay is so much fun. So Ratchet and Clank, does show what the PS5 is capable of. Like, it is the showcase. It is like, as much as I love Returnal, I can't recommend it to everybody because it is difficult as heck. Ratchet is a game that I can recommend to anyone. And maybe that goes back to the easy mode thing as well. We're talking about where anybody, you're a kid, a teen, an adult, someone nostalgic, whatever the case may be. This story hits and resonates with everybody. It does the Pixar thing where there's humor for adults, there's humor for kids, and really the VO is just out of this world great. So to me, I lean towards Ratchet and Clank, but out of these top three, I'm really intrigued what my game of the year will be in 2021 because I do think it's going to come down to these three and maybe one or two others. Like, I know this is a PlayStation show. I get it. We gave Phil Spencer credit way too much already, but why did I just have such a tone like that? But to me, I really think Halo has a chance to really bring it back for me. I've been playing a hell of a lot of Halo 5, just getting my body ready, tuned, finally, so that I could own some noobs in Halo Infinite. I want to feel the way I felt for the Master Chief that I did when I was 9 years old, painting my Stormtroopers green so I could play pretend. Like, I want that back for Halo. Halo means something to me, and I want that feeling I want for the first time in what seems like forever, just go, wow, what an experience. Because I don't think there's been a honestly great Halo story since 4. Like, don't make a girl a promise you can't keep is a line that sticks with me. So, yeah, I'm rooting for Halo. And then we also got Horizon. So that game as well needs so much as the podcast exists, blah, blah, blah. You get it. Yeah.
I'm also just looking at other ones like Deathloop.
Oh my God,
be a sneaky one.
Dude, looks so good.
Life is Strange, True Colors could be a contender. Yeah. Like I mentioned, Kena. Like there's
a lot.
There's a lot of games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games. Like, also, and for me personally, like 12 minutes on Xbox, I can't wait to play that game.
Death's Door, your bird with a sword.
I can't. That is the reason I bought a Series X, and I know that's funny to a lot of people. Oh my God, video games, man.
Again, the achievement hall, it's coming. Like, games are awesome. Play where you want. Play whatever difficulty you want. I don't give a shit. So,
absolutely.
Kyle.
Space Jam: A New Legacy? I'm sorry.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Listen, I want to ask you a question. I've been having a lot of fun on this show this week. But one important question is, are you holding on to something? Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation storefront. Where the heart leads. Kyle, you played this on PS5 and PS4, July 13th. Lost at Sea on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. Ew, just play it on PS5. F1 21 on PlayStation 5 and PS4. Observer System Redux on PS4 and Xbox One, July 16th. And in a special segment I'd like to call, Why You Fucking Me on This One? Space Jam: A New Legacy disrespects its fans by coming out only on the Xbox Series X and S on July 16th. Are you kidding me? I love a good Space Jam.
The first game was trash. First game was trash.
Sure, this is like a free game as well. But it's still Space Jam. Okay.
Fair.
I'm gonna watch the shit out of that, dude. I can't wait.
Oh my God, I can't wait for Friday.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. I mean, like, LeBron, first off, LeBron, good actor. Like, for like
absolutely.
An athlete.
Absolutely.
I watched the original Space Jam because sometimes I like to go back, get a little nostalgic, and then look at like where scenes were probably a little problematic. You go, okay, I don't think this would work in society. Surprisingly, not too many. Not too many. But yeah, I'm so in on New Legacy because Michael Jordan's acting. Listen, he's the king of the court, but he is. It was rough.
No. Oh yeah, it's bad.
And I thought, what's his face? Oh my God, from Ghostbusters. Why am I blanking?
Bill Murray.
I thought he was in it way more. Nope. It's just Bill Murray being Bill Murray. He's like, I'm here for the money. You got 15 minutes with me. Let's go. Also, Zendaya is Lola Bunny. And I'm just going to say it. Zendaya, I invite you to kick me right in the forehead as hard as you can. As hard as you can. You're gorgeous. And I legitimately have a crush on her. It's ridiculous. So all of a sudden, I get the Lola Bunny fetish is what I'm saying. Kyle, with that said, and the attraction to Zendaya all out of the way, you've been playing a game, Kyle, called Where the Heart Leads. Speaking of, My heart leads to Zendaya, I love her. But for you, you've been playing a bit of this.
Yes.
Throwing some time in it. I want to know what this game is all about. I'm hearing nothing but great things, but I have no idea what it is. So Kyle, take it away.
Yeah. Huge shout out to Armature for the code.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you very much. This game follows a dad by the name of Whit. And he's on this farm on his farm stand, and there's a storm coming in, like a thunderstorm. And during this storm, the ground opens up, and it's like a giant sinkhole. And the family dog falls in.
No.
And this happens within the first 2 minutes. So you have to rush and figure out how you're going to save the dog.
Any means necessary.
That's how I played it as well.
Okay.
So this is a narrative story choice adventure game. This isn't like a platformer or anything. You are making choices to move the story forward and affect story choices in the future. So yeah, the story opens up very, very hard and fast, and you have to figure out, all right, how am I going to get to my dog? The kids are outside worrying. You have to choose whether or not you're going to tell them everything's going to be all right.
Don't care about the kids.
You got to tell your wife, I'm scared, or be the strong father figure that you need to be in that moment. And then when you get down, and I don't want to spoil how you get down.
Sure, just whatever.
Yeah, but when you get to the dog, you have the choice of, do you keep trying, or basically find a new way and risk the dog falling even further, because the dog didn't fall all the way down, but it's on a ledge, pretty close.
Okay.
So you make that choice, and
let me ask you a question.
I saved the dog.
Okay, first off, thank you.
I saved the dog.
Is this game all about a traumatic event, or are you looking at past events of how it led to this point?
No, yeah. So once that opening choice is made, again, I don't know what happens if you don't save the dog.
You go straight to hell.
Falling. Well, ironically, you do fall down into the hole.
Okay.
Your apparatus that you use to get down breaks, and you are now the one falling deep into the earth in this giant sinkhole. And when you land, you're in this new kind of hidden world where you are reliving memories of when you're a child, and your wife sends down a letter that you read, and that letter is affected by your choices that you made before. And again, this is all within the first 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
It goes pretty fast. So then you are going through and interacting with little eyeballs that tell you things that you can interact with, and it's telling the story of Lit and of his family and these important moments in his life.
And I'm assuming you're crafting your wit as you go along.
You're making the choices whether or not. So the first one is, you run into your brother. Do you choose to listen to your brother to get through this dark area, or you don't listen to him and you figure it out on your own? And so you have those kind of choices. And then at the end of that section, you open up into what your childhood home was like, and you meeting your wife for the first time.
Okay.
And that is kind of where I ended. It's I've only played an hour and a half of it, but it is a emotionally gripping story. It is a little linear. There is not a whole lot of exploring to be done. It is point A, point B, follow the story beats along the way, which is not a bad thing, especially if you just want to get the story done and really engrossed in it, which I am. It's beautiful. I'm really, really digging it. It's exactly the kind of gripping kind of story that I love in games. I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And when it comes to, since this is you said an action, what is it?
Just adventure.
Adventure, sorry. Always
story choice. Yeah.
The one thing that I think of when I'm thinking of the classic point and click type of thing here is, how are the fonts? You know, I don't like reading. You know, reading is hard for me. Especially when it's small fonts. I've heard there's patches to make them, bigger. But
yes, so at first booting it up, everything in the game is from a text bubble over the characters' heads, and at first they are very tiny.
Okay.
And I immediately went into the options, and I guess this was after the patch. You can make those those speech bubbles or whatever size you want. I don't know how big you can get it, but I made them big enough so to where I could easily read them and didn't feel like a strain. So that kind of alleviated those kind of fears from me.
And since you're only a few hours in, how are you digging the dialogue?
Dialogue's really natural, I would say. It feels like I am inside this man's thoughts, and it seems kind of free-flowing. I feel like I am quickly becoming in the shoes of Wit and actually making those choices as him instead of just like a passenger on this road.
Question here. Voiceover or no? Because this is a small indie game, so I'm thinking nay on this. I stumped him.
I don't remember. It's been a few days since I played.
Sure.
I don't remember if Wit.
Prison.
Yeah. And then the kids here in my home prison. No, my nieces are totally fine and safe. I love them very much.
They're not the jailers.
No, they're not.
They're feeding me well.
I think Wit might be voiced.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I can clearly remember the dog barking though.
Good.
Because I was so stressed.
Because I will freak out. And real talk.
So stressed.
in real talk. Before we talk about, do you recommend this game so far as what you've gotten into?
If you're into narrative games, very engrossing, gripping stories, and aren't afraid to get a little emotional while playing your games, absolutely play this game. If you're not a point and click kind of adventure type of person, maybe hold off. Even though there isn't like puzzles, it's very telltale and it's story choices. Just know that going in. But I definitely think it deserves to be experienced.
All right. I got a question for you, Kyle. When you see a movie with like a dog or like a horse in it or whatever, and it's like the main thing, do you go on doesthedogdie.com?
No, I just don't even watch that movie.
Okay.
I have never seen Marley and Me. I refuse. I can't do it.
No, I can't either. I
can't do it.
No.
Air Bud, when I was little, I was very scared at Air Bud.
Is that the dog that's just playing basketball?
That plays basketball. Yeah. So at the end of that movie, Joe, the way the courtroom does, like,
there's
they
a
bring
courtroom?
the dog in. Yeah, because there's a custody battle over the abusive owner and this kid that found this dog and took him in and is part of the basketball team, which is a wild sentence.
Yeah.
But, like, the judge is like, all right, let the dog choose. And the abusive owner was, like, yelling and screaming at him, and the Air Bud was slowly going towards him. That horrified me. He was like, no, Air Bud, don't. And even the scene with the kid, like, letting Air Bud go, saying, like, you have to go now, run, be free. That destroyed me as a kid. So, Air Bud, pivotal moment in my cinema history.
Also, it's like, is this how the criminal justice system really works? Because, like, if so, we're in trouble, you know? I mean, we already were, but, like, we're in deep shit. I have a problem with a review that came in from last week, Kyle. A 4-star review. So Tiger Jordan writes in, and he knows just how to get to me, you son of a gun. Because I've stated it. You don't give me, if I give a 1 star on an Apple podcast, whatever. It's whatever. That real effort is a 3 or a 4 because it feels honest. It feels honest. You hurt me, Jordan. You hurt me.
What's happening?
He says,
what's happening?
That Plague Tale spoiler about the dog wasn't cool, Joe. You try to clean it up with some something sentimental about how hurt you get with dogs dying in movies or getting hurt in movies, but it's still a spoiler. You should know better than that. Still a great listen, but not cool, Joe. Okay. Jordan, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe. How dare you? First off, you had a year to play this game, right? So, Jordan, I don't know if you're in it. You know what I mean? Like, you were really committed to playing this game. You had a year to, and you didn't. Secondly, and I'm not talking what happens to the dog right now. Maybe its leg gets broken. Maybe the owner hits it. I don't know. Can't tell you because I can't risk another one of these. But what I will tell you is, Jordan, you had a year. So much so that Plague Tale literally memed it. They memed it. They literally said something along the lines on their Twitter of, yes, you could pet the dog in this game, but don't get attached. And they literally said,
did they really?
Yes. And then they said, hey, can you send us pictures of your dog, like community pictures of dogs in this game? And then they said, brave of you to actually do this, considering what you've seen, what we do to dogs. So they're memed it. They've memed it.
What?
Also, shitty joke, by the way.
Oh my
I don't like
God.
it. I don't like it. So Plague Tale themselves have quote unquote spoiled it. Also, let's be honest here. When you took a look at the marketing of this game, where did you see a dog? You know what I mean? We can add here. 1 + 1 =. That dog is not airbutting it. It's not going to win the case, you know? So I just had a problem with it. And I have to call it out. I have to call a spade a spade. Plague Tale has memed it. I feel like, Kyle, and maybe we need rules on how these things work. Maybe we need our own court system of like, what is a spoiler? Honest to God, what's a spoiler? How long do you have from not playing a game until playing it? Is it considered a spoiler? Or should you never speak about anything ever in terms of spoilers?
It's a good question.
Because I think I'm doing a public service. I'm saying a dog gets hurt in a game or a movie.
I mean, I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. I can see where Jordan's coming from, though, because this game is now on PS Plus for more people to experience
right,
it.
But you had to.
I mean, yeah, I can see it both ways.
Jordan, you got Kyle on your side. Kyle's giving me a 4-star review right now. He's feeling it. I get it, but like at the same exact time, I feel like if it's the first 15 minutes of a thing, it's not major. Like the dog doesn't have a dog family. You know what I mean? Like you're the main character's not a dog. If I said like in Moss Book 2, like Quill's family just gets eviscerated.
The dog doesn't have a dog family.
Yeah, if it's like a, I don't think it's a big deal. Is what I'm trying to say.
All right.
You differ. You think it's a big deal?
I don't think it's a huge deal.
Well, you just said I can't watch Marley and Me. We can assume what happens at Marley and Me.
I thought you were talking about the spoiler.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the.
But isn't that a spoiler, Kyle? Is that okay? Because Marley and Me came out a long time ago.
Yeah, that is totally okay.
So I could just tell you the end of Godfather, a cinematic masterpiece, because it's been a while.
I mean, I saw Godfather.
But someone couldn't have it. Maybe it's on Netflix and now everybody could watch it, Kyle.
You're getting very angry over a Plague Tale.
I felt like I did a public service and I'm being wronged because I did a public service.
Don't feel that way. Jordan, I appreciate the review.
I appreciate it as well. Thank you for rating us 4 stars. Could have done a little higher, but that's fine. Yeah. Also, Michael's brother dies in Godfather, so take that. Son of a gun. We got one last question before we go.
Guess what? Darth Vader is Luke's dad.
What? That's father in Dutch. Kyle?
Yeah.
It's time to hop on the Sony Pony Express.
Yeehaw!
Back out. Todd Oxshire writes in, and this is the only question. First off, everybody hit it out of the park this week with questions, y'all. Thank you so much for writing in. Todd writes, Does PlayStation need a new marketing team? Ooh, hard hits here. PS Now is under the radar and no one knows it exists. Their social media and blog feels lifeless. The state of play have no personality. Whoa, Todd, you're going for the jugular. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what, Jordan? I'm sorry I attacked you so bad. Todd's going at us. At best, they come off aloof. At worst, they seem out of touch. Woof. Kyle, do you believe this bunch of hootenanny? What did I say? Hullabaloo? Hullabaloo? You believe this?
I don't think they need a new marketing team. I think for the most part, I think they do a good job.
Yeah.
I think their Twitter account is pretty good at what they do of highlighting some new things. The blog, I'm kind of with you. I kind of miss the drop. I kind of miss the here's what's coming to PlayStation that week. I miss that. They do have PS Now updates on the blog, so it's not. But I am with Todd there. I don't think many people go to the blog and see what's coming to PS Now.
Yeah. Or
let alone PS Now as a thing. Disagree completely on the state of play thing. Right. I think they have their own unique personality visually, and the way that the transitions are a little. I guess, yeah, it's ripping off Nintendo a little bit, but they've learned from their mistakes. I think early on they were not great.
Yeah.
I think they're doing fine. I don't think they're atrocious.
Do they need a new marketing team? No. Do they need a new direction? Yes. So PS Now, I think, is under the radar because it's going to get a revamp. Like, I think they're not promoting it as much because something's going to happen to that service, and hopefully it's something cool, right? Their social media, I agree. It's boring. It's just a lot of ads. I agree. Xbox does a fantastic job with their PR team. Like, they'll talk to me sometimes. I'm like, hey, what's up, Xbox? You know, I didn't like your, what was it, all-in-one music video?
Oh, the R&B music video?
Oh, man, it just reminded me of every quinceañera I've ever been to, and I hated it. But like, at least they do weird stuff like that, man. At least they go out of their way to like really communicate. And it just seems like PlayStation's like, okay, so X company gave us X amount of money to promote their game. So here's a spot at 9 a.m. Here's a spot at 10 a.m. Here's a spot at 11. Here's a tournament at 12 and goodbye. And that just doesn't do it for me, man. I think they really got to let their social teams have fun with their social media. Have fun with us. It's okay to have fun. The blog feels lifeless. I feel like that's just all blogs. And if I'm not mistaken, the Alexa rank on the blog ranks pretty high. I think if I'm not mistaken, I was using the free version because I'm cheap, but it's like number like 629. Like it ranks really high of all the internet. So like, great job on you. But yeah, I don't think everybody's going to the blog. I think that traffic goes to when they have like a Horizon or a Last of Us, type of announcement. The state of plays, I'm going to argue a hard no. I love the state of plays. Yeah. I think they've done a great job of setting the expectations of what you're going to get. They state it before the shows start. They even stated in this one, they're like, hey, no Horizon, but it's coming. No God of War, it's coming. Don't worry. This is for Deathloop. They do great jobs at setting expectations. I think, is it the games you want to see? No. I would hold out hope. Wait till the last whatever state of play is, the one that's supposed to blow our socks off. Then we get to compare. Because I'm going to be real. I thought the future of the PS5 or future of games event with the reveal of the PS5 was fan-freaking-tastic. It was really, really good. And I love PlayStation's motto when they're showing off games of these games have to be running on PlayStation 5. These things have to be running on our console. You don't get that on the other side, unfortunately. And that should not be taking a dig at Xbox. We just praise them a shit ton. So let me have one critique here. So that said, Xbox doesn't do that all the time with their games. They're most of the times showcased on PCs, which is fine, but whatever. So to me, I really like the state of play feel. I like the expectations, and I think we ourselves have to keep our level of expectations checked, because when we're reading those rumors from, blog A, B, and C about Ghost of Tsushima's DLC lasting 20 hours, it's like, no, that's not true. Bloodborne's second, third, leak this week, it's like probably not the case as much as I want to believe it. So I think we really got to keep expectations leveled here. That's all.
Sure.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. I love you all so very much. Kyle, what a terrific episode of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, I do.
The coffee kicked in halfway through the show. Did you notice?
You're going up, and I'm slowly going down.
Damn, Kyle. All right. Words and such. Hullabaloo. Kyle, where can people find you? Where can we spotlight your stiff?
You can find my banger of content over at Mr. K Steph on Twitter and on PSN and on Xbox now. You can add me over there. You can follow all the indie game coverage I do over at 61indie.com. That's 6 spelled out, SIX, and 1ONEINDIE, as well as twitch.tv/61indie, where I completed the Claire story of RE2 on Tuesday, so I've now gotten the full Resident Evil 2 remake experience. RE3 is coming at some point this year, and some really, really cool gameplay happening over there. And yeah, just I love you very much. So stay safe, stay cool. For the love of God, hydrate. Don't dehydrate.
Whoa, what a rhyme. Speaking of, Awesome Dave did ask a question. We'll save that for the post show. Okay. And this post show is wild. Let me tell you, if you're a patron for only $1.
Oh, I can't wait.
My brother and my father almost stumbled into a military facility where they literally said the sign was, "We'll shoot on sight." They made a wrong turn in the middle of Pennsylvania, and they're like, how the hell do we get out of here and not become fugitives after? It's gonna be a banger of a show. Kyle, what a fantastic episode this was of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. You can find the show over on YouTube, the video version. You can find us anywhere you get your podcasts at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. Please rate us 5 stars there. It really does help us out, boost us in the analytics and all that stuff. Also, please, I forget to say this, share this with your friends. Let everybody know that there's beautiful, beautiful PlayStation podcasts with 2 beautiful boys talking about PlayStation. Tell us, let the world know of the Trophy Room PlayStation podcast. You can find us over at PS Trophy Room, me at Mr. Badbit. And Kyle, is there one last thing before we go?
Yeah, just a reminder, if for this month's Road to Greatness, if you would like to play along with us, we are playing Gravity Rush Remastered, which is available on PS Now. That episode will be recorded in a few weeks, so you have time, but we're letting you know now.
Thanks,
so you have plenty of time to play it.
Yeah, I'll be streaming it next week as proof. Yeah, yes. So I can't wait. I'm going to platinum the heck out of that game. With all that said, and with all that out of the way, everybody, we love you. Keep your wits about you. Keep hunting. And keep playing PlayStation.